Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel, it's Hazard12 here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a quick discussion type of video, just talking about FIFA 21 as a whole, and the kind of things I think went well and what didn't quite go as well. If you like what you see, then please do drop a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But let's just jump straight on into the video. We're going to be breaking it down into three separate sections. We're going to go gameplay, content, and then offline modes. So we'll start off with gameplay. So the gameplay this year, I think a lot of people, well, I saw a lot of at least negative reviews, if you like reviews, on Twitter. People moaning a lot, which is expected. It's FIFA. I'm the same. I moan about it all the time, for good reason at times as well. I mean, I fully understand it's one of the most frustrating experiences of your entire life, but there's a reason we play it and there's a reason we enjoy it, and that's because we obviously like it. We obviously like playing it. There are a few things with the gameplay that I think were pretty crap this year, if I'm honest. I think rebounds from tackles were absolutely awful and one of the most annoying things ever. Like, you'd tackle someone 4 or 5 times and you still wouldn't win the ball and they'd go and score, or the directional nutmeg where you tackle them but they just carry on running with the ball afterwards anyway. Very annoying things. But yeah, it's just one of them that I think that they have to improve on. You can't allow that. I guess it does kind of happen in real life. You do kind of make a tackle, you might not win the ball back every time, but to constantly tackle someone and to constantly not win the ball, then it is pointless having tackling as a feature in the game. So yeah, for me that's something that needs to improve. Another thing I think they need to improve on is making all players playable. So what I mean by that is your high rated players and you never see. So Maldini, Baresi, Harry Kane, Lewandowski. These are players that are 95 rated plus, with special cards, and you just never see them. And Maldini and Baresi had one of the best centre back partnerships ever in world football, and you never ever come up against them. So I think FIFA needs to make a meta in a game where there's more than one meta, if you like. So there's more than just pace. You can use other players and you can play a style that you want to play. There is kind of that. I would put that as a positive. You can kind of play how you want to play on FIFA, but you're still kind of limited. So for FIFA 22, I'd like it if high rated players were possible to use. There are some good things about FIFA this year. They brought crossing back to an extent, and they didn't have, like, there was a bit more of a balance, if you like, because on FIFA 20, I remember all anyone would do was go to the byline and pull it back and it'd be a goal. You can still do that on FIFA 21, but it's a bit less limited. I think they are quite common goals in real life, so it's quite good to see that they're kind of implementing a bit of real life football, kind of mirroring it a little bit. And crossing again, brought that back, it's quite strong. Again, it wasn't too OP. I think they found a really good balance with crossing this year. I think that, like I said, with the gameplay in general as a whole, I don't actually think it was that bad. I just think that there were certain tweaks they could have made. I think they made it a little bit too slow for me. I think it would be good if it was just a bit faster, and they made counter-attacking a little, not easier, but a bit more possible, if you like, because there were times where you try and break and the game was just a bit, behind you, a bit slow almost. So, yeah, the gameplay itself, I don't think it was as bad as what I saw on Twitter. There was just a few little tweaks I feel like if they would have improved on, it would have been a really, really strong contender for the best gameplay ever for FIFA. But unfortunately, there was just those few things that kind of held it back a little bit. Moving on to the next thing then, and like I said, that would be content, and by that I mean content for Ultimate Team. I think content this year, they absolutely smashed it. It has been the only FIFA I think that I'm still playing now, 2 weeks before the next one comes out. And not even playing it as much really, just doing SBCs. So yeah, they've smashed the content completely this year. It's the first FIFA, I saw someone tweet this, I can't remember who it was, so I do apologise. But it's the first FIFA where everyone, no matter how much money you want to spend on the game, £0 or whatever, can build their literal ultimate team. And I think that's really, really exciting because I don't remember a time where anyone ever's been able to do that. And you can do that in so many different ways. You can smash out the 85 times 10 packs and you can build Maradona, Ronaldinho, Pele, R9, whoever, or you can just keep doing them until you pack who you want to pack. And I think it's been really, really good. And it's not like they've just introduced this now, like a week before FIFA 22. This has been going, well, not necessarily that pack itself, but the content itself has been going on pretty much all year round. But I think especially this summer, since Festival of Football started, it's been really, really good, been really, really strong. I don't know if they did this last year, so I might be wrong, but even if they did do it last year and they've done it this year, keeping Team of the Seasons in red picks was a really good call as well. because obviously what's the point in doing red picks in weekend league or whatever in August if you're just going to be getting some crappy inform. But yeah, I think they smashed it. They smashed re-release really hard as well. I just really think the content was strong this year, and it was an all year round thing as well. I don't want to just talk about the summer. There was a lot of content all year round, a lot of things to grind. I know there were times where people were moaning saying they haven't had content for a few days, and that's fair enough. People want stuff to grind, especially if you've got the time. But as a whole, I think EA done really well this year, and they've made a game. Well, made a game later on in the year, at least anyway, where you don't need to spend money to get the team that you really want. I saw people start Road to Glories, and within literally 2 or 3 days, they had like 195. So, yeah, big up for EA for that, because that was a really strong plus point for me. Okay, then, so moving on to the final category, and that is offline modes. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail with these because I haven't spent an awful lot of time playing them. Volta, I've not even touched this year. I don't even think I've loaded it. I don't think anyone does. That needs a massive rebrand because that is just complete garbage. I think it was built up to be this whole next FIFA Street thing in FIFA, and it is completely shit. So that needs completely changing up for me. That's not what anyone plays. I don't think anyone buys FIFA and just plays Volta. I think pro clubs, again, I think more needs to be done. I don't play an awful lot of it. I played a bit of it, obviously, but I've not played an awful lot. But I think there just needs to be a little bit more done to it. It kind of feels like it's been neglected. When I've played it, it feels like it's been the same as it has done for the past 3 or 4, 5 FIFAs now. Obviously, you could use a bit more, customization with your pro and whatnot, but I don't know. I don't feel like there's enough in pro clubs for me as to where it should be, because it's a really popular game mode, especially if you've got 7, 8 of you, 9 of you on a team, you're all friends and stuff, or even 11. Then it is a really popular game mode. So I think EA should put a bit more time into that, because I think they've got a lot of potential there. And then the last offline mode, of course, that I'm going to talk about right now is career mode. Now, I've not played an awful lot of career mode this year, I'm not going to lie. I do like what they've done. I like that they tried to improve it. I like the whole simming matches, the way you can see the players doing everything. I think that's a big plus point for me. I enjoy that. I feel like it's a bit slow. I feel like, I don't know if any of you guys play Football Manager, but when you play Football Manager, obviously, you click through, you got to go through each day kind of individually, and it simulates each day. I feel like FIFA 21 tried to do that a little bit, because when you play, obviously, it like stops the simulation a little bit, and you got to do training and all that. I don't know many people that would actually stop and do the training. I personally wouldn't. I simulate it all every time. So I think it's trying to slow it down a little bit too much for me, in my opinion. Maybe there should be an option to turn that off. I don't know if there is. I've not actually played it that much. But yeah, I think it needs a bit more for me. I don't really know what FIFA want for it. I don't know what EA want from career mode. I don't know if they want it to mirror Football Manager and try and be a rival to Football Manager almost, or I don't know if they want it to be on the back seat. To me, it seems like they aren't as bothered about it as they are Ultimate Team, and that'll always be the way because they make so much money from Ultimate Team every year. I think they made like over £1 billion this year just off Ultimate Team alone. So yeah, I feel like it will always take a back seat, but for me, I used to really enjoy career mode back in like FIFA 12, FIFA 13, and especially the earlier FIFAs before Ultimate Team, and career mode was pretty much your only option. I used to love it when they put all their effort into career mode, and it would be, a bit more even in depth back then than it is now. Like, I've seen a few videos from Niren, and he played some old FIFAs and that, and there's obviously, got sponsors and stuff, and it's just super cool, and you don't get anything like that anymore. And in career mode, there's so much potential for it. There's so much they could do with it, but they just don't seem to be touching. I've heard that they're going to make quite a big changes to it this year. I hope that's true. I hope they make it a playable game mode for myself, because right now it just isn't quite enough to get me hooked. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Overall, I think it was a pretty decent FIFA. I don't think it was the worst FIFA ever. I just certainly don't think it's the best FIFA ever. For me, FIFA 17 is the best. That's just my opinion, though. But no, I don't think it was too bad at all. I think, like I said, they were pretty close this year. They just needed to make a few tweaks to the gameplay, especially, and then I think they would have had a pretty decent game on their hands. But yeah, that's, like I said, going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please do drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.